Dear friends, welcome back. Today we will continue with jumping statements. And in Java, there are three types of jumping statement. First one is break, and second one is continue, and third one is return. And this break and continue are of two types. In that we can say the first one is labeled break and second one is unlabeled break. In C++, only break is available, that is unlabeled break. But in Java, break is available in two forms, labeled break and unlabeled break. Even the continue is also in the same way, labeled and unlabeled. And the return, as you know, to return out or to return to the previous function, we will use return statement. Now we will see the examples, how we can use the break, continue and return statements. I'll open IntelliJ. Okay, when you open IntelliJ, it shows the previous programs. We will close those programs and click on SRC, then right click, then take new Java class and take the name as break example. And double click on class to create the break example class. Okay, then add public static void main string args and then curly. Now first we will see simple example on break statement, that is unlabeled. So first we will take for int I is equal to 0 semicolon I less than 10 I plus plus. Then we will add one statement, if I is equal to 5 break semicolon. Then below that we will add system dot out dot println. We will display I. Semicolon. Then we will run. Okay, so it displays 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means it will take I is equal to 0 and it prints. Since I is not equal to 5. So I is equal to 1, it prints. I is equal to 2, it prints. I is equal to 3, it prints. When I is equal to 4, it prints. And when I is equal to 5, it will come out from the loop. That means the break is helpful to break the loop. Any loop it may be, for, while, do while. To break any loop, we can take break statement. That is simple use of break statement. Now we will see labeled break statement. So already I have one problem here. Just you can see on the screen, public class labeled break public static void main string args, and I took one for statement and I named that one as 1. That means I have taken one label as 1 for the first for and the label 2 for second for statement. If I is equal to 3, break 1. That means when I reaches to 3, I am breaking it to 1. That means I am jumping it to one label and again I will continue. Okay. But here we took I is equal to 3, break 1. So that means it will go above first for, outer for. So automatically that will be a end of these two for statement. So just we will observe that thing by running. Okay, now when we run this program, in the output we can see I is equal to 0. That means from 0 I started, j started from 0 and repeated up to 5. That means up to 4. That is 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4. Same way, again it took 1 and 1 is repeated up to 4. And then 2 is repeated up to 4. And then the for statement is stopped. Since we have taken I is equal to 3, break 1, that means go to this label or this area, then automatically it will come out from the two for loop statements. In C or C++, we can take goto in this way, but the goto is having one advantage. We can take that goto maybe in the backward direction or maybe in the forward direction. But here, taking it in the forward direction is not possible. Just you can see. If I paste 1 here, it will show the error, label without statement. So if we run, okay, now illegal startup statement. That means it's not taking this 1. That means the break is here means we can go only in the backward direction. The labels we can take only in the backward direction, not in the forward direction. Okay, that you have to remember. The labels we can take only in the backward direction. So we will take break 2. Then we will see what happens. Break 2. We are not moving to this label, one label. We are moving to this label which represents second or inner for. Okay, now it displays the result. I is traversed from 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But 3 is not there since we have taken I is equal to 3, break 2. That means when I takes the value 3, then directly it jumps to 2 and repeats again. And it will not take the system.out.println, so that you can observe here. So 0 is there, I as 0, I as 1, I as 2, but 3 is not there directly 4. That means 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4 are not there. That means one whole iteration of that I and J is not there. And another advantage of this break is directly you can come out of 2-3 for loops or 2-3 loop statements. If you want to break 2 looping statements, then this method is better. And another statement is continue. I will take for I is equal to 0, semicolon, I less than phi I plus plus. If I is equal to 3, continue, semicolon. Then system.out.println. For the for we have to take curly system.out.println I, semicolon. So we need one more curly here. For this for main, okay. Now we will run. Now it displays the output 0, 1, 2 and 4. Since we took I is equal to 3, continue. Continue means in I is equal to 3, don't take the next statement. That is the meaning of continue. Don't take the next statement, that is system.out.println. Continue with the next iteration. So it takes directly I as 4 and continues the system.out.println I. That is the use of continuous statement. Next, we will see labeled continuous statement. For that, I will give one more example. So here you can see same type of program. Okay, we took if I is equal to 3, continue 1. We will take like this way and we will try now. We will run this program. The same program, 1 for this for statement, 2 is for the second for statement. If I is equal to 3, continue 1. Otherwise display the I and J. Now we can see I is equal to 0, J is repeated up to 4, I is equal to 1, J is repeated up to 4, I is equal to 2, J is repeated up to 4. Again, 3 is not there. So just we will change this one and we will see continue 2 and we will run. Okay, now see the result. I is equal to 0 till 4 it is repeated, 1 till 4 it is repeated, 2 J is repeated up to 4, again 3 is not there. Again 4 1, 4 2, 4 3, 4 4. That means in the continue, if you take continue 1 as well as continue 2, both will act in the same way. Just work on these things and try to find out the difference. Next we will see return statement. So the return statement is commonly used to pass or to end the control or to pass the control to end of a program. To pass the control to end of a program. Just we will see here. One for is there that is repeated up to 10. Another for is there that is repeated up to 10. Then system.out.println. Then along with that there is return statement. Now if I run this program, it displays only the have a nice day return. Since return means directly, even though there are two for statements, that means it has to be repeated 100 times, but it is not repeating 100 times, just displaying only once. And after displaying this have a nice day, directly it comes out from the program. And we can use this return in another way. Maybe to return some value to another function. That example we will see. So I took two classes here, class another class 1 In that we have one function, int some numbers, int x comma int y, return x plus y. Then public class return example, public static void main string args. We have created object of another class 1. Another class 1 b is equal to new another class 1. Int z is equal to b dot some numbers 60 comma 40 system dot out dot println z. We will run this program and we will see. So it displays the result as 100. So here, when we are taking another class, we have to create the instance of that class to take the functions in that class. Okay, so we have created instance of another class 1 with the name b, and that we took to take the function called or method called some numbers. Okay, this is one method. Even we can use this one in another way. We can take function in the same class. Public class break example, int some numbers, int x comma int y, return x plus y. We took one function within the class break example. Then we took main, and in main we have created the instance of the same class. Okay, directly taking is possible or not, that we will see. Just I'll comment this line and I will take just z is equal to some numbers and we will try to run. Okay, now it shows the error. We'll see that error here. Okay, non-static method some numbers cannot be referenced from a static context. That means in the static function, calling non-static method is not possible. So we have to create the object of that class, and then of the same class, then we have to create the object member as some numbers. So break example, b is equal to new break example, z is equal to b dot some numbers x comma y, that is 20 comma 20. So then again we will run and see whether it works. Okay, now there are no errors and we can see the result. In this way, we can use break, continue in two ways, as well as return in two ways. Return with no value, return with value. Thank you, friends. In the next class, we will see about classes and objects, what the class is, what the object is, that all things one by one.